Since these people are all mad on this podcast, this is how we're going to start this now. I did a polite intro and they're all vexing anyhow, so we'll go like this. You guys, welcome to a new year. No grief for anybody. It's all violence here from now henceforth. But yeah, before I go on, I would like to introduce our guests. Jay, how are you doing? Happy New Year.
I'm dying. I'm good. I'm doing great. Thanks for having
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, you're the only one worth introducing properly here. The rest of them, I don't understand what's going on. What's all
Thank you.
So all of you, keep your greetings like that. Cakes, Dapo, Red, the regular. Hope that nickname will stick this year.
Wow.
You can start taking attendance and we'll see now.
Yeah. I for one I'm happy to be here today. I don't I don't know what's up with that guy that introed us.
Well, you could tell some people who have decided to step into the new year with violence and a don't care attitude. It's okay.
It's okay. You can also tell some people that step into the new year with losses and tears, but it's fine. It's all good.
The guy came with all his Cat Williams energy, man.
Exactly. I'm good. Even though you didn't ask me, I'm telling you, people, I'm good. I'm happy to be 2024. Yes, I'm ready to go, and I'm fully.
Are you sure you're good?
I'm good. Don't forget about everything that happens. I am good.
You can hear the energy, right? He's ready to go.
Yes, we shall not agree. No matter how many slings, bad breaks, stupid Arsenal scores, we're doing it all.
Dr. Went there first. It's not gonna stop us. You want to yab yourself first, but let's give us another for now.
I mean, that sounds like one that's actually good. So good for you, Dapo.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so this year, for this episode, we said we'll do a look back at our highlights for last year.
Yes.
And spread us across all the sections: comic books, movies, TV shows, animations, and yeah. So that's what we'll be doing this episode.
So just to be clear, today is this individual or are we doing a collective? Like we all agree on one, because that will never happen. That will never happen.
Individual.
No, I think we'll bring individuals. But we have the right to rubbish someone's individual picking.
Absolutely,
obviously being rubbish.
Wait, are you doing like a top 3 or something for the year, or how you looking?
No, you do like your individual. We'll go for a category like animation. Everyone will say what their highlight was, and then if you've got like an honorable mention, you can put that in. And then if you have a particular low light, you can say that as well. And then we'll do another category round robin.
Yeah, so
it won't be hard for me. I have 3 I really like this past year.
Yeah, go for free. If you got free, put it in. I don't think there's any limit. I mean, I don't want you listen to 20 movies or something, but if you got free, mention free.
All right, cool. Will do.
So who are we starting with our special guest first then? And what category are we starting with first, Cakes?
We can probably start with the shortest category, movies. Because that's like the easiest to get through.
I totally agree with that. Let's start with movies.
Okay, movies. That's always interesting. The movies.
Yeah, so Jay.
Wait, you know about the highlight movie of the year?
Yes.
Yeah, live action movie.
Live action for me, highlight was Guardians of the Galaxy. That was my highlight, Volume 3.
Okay.
It stuck the landing, in my opinion. I was very happy to see it. And it was probably the most poignant of all of them to date. I thought there was some unnecessary dirty humor in there. Like there was so much fuss about it, and like there was like an anticlimactic joke or something. I'm not giving a shit about it in any other show, but the story was great. It was a nice farewell to the architect of the Guardians of the Galaxy sub-franchise, right? James Gunn.
Yeah.
As he signs off and heads to go and hopefully revive the fortunes of the DC universe minus the E. Let's see how that plays out. So for me, that was the top thing. That was my highlight of the year as far as movies go, live action.
Okay, I think that's a very non-controversial take.
Happy
Red.
nobody is rubbishing it, because that's when you see my controversial take. That's what rubbish it.
Does anybody else has any a different highlights?
Well, if I go next, I have no
Yeah.
highlights for me. I had no movie highlight at all. That was the best of everything I saw, but remember, even that I wasn't that blown away by it.
I seem to remember that. I remember that you were not particularly keen. It's for me. It was my highlight as well. It's literally my favorite MCU film, so it's definitely a highlight for me.
Wait, MCU film last year or MCU film period?
Period.
Whoa,
I said it after.
I
I said it after I watched it. It had everything, and it had more action than the previous two, and even the heart, the I don't say the hearts, like the heart moments were like, it was absolutely my favorite. It's the one that has the most rewatch value for me, even more than like the Civil Wars and the stuff. I really like the film. I really like
that's strong praise.
I love it. I love
That's
it.
interesting.
Today,
I think for me, that is the only Guardians movie I've liked. I think I've vehemently hated the last two, the first two movies in the franchise. So this was the first one I could watch, and I said, okay, I enjoyed it. But for the highlight, I'll pick a controversial choice. I'll go with Aquaman, because that's an actual ending of the DCAU. It's like, this is the burial point. It is over. We can move on from our suffering, hopefully. So it's good.
So for you, it's Aquaman.
Yeah,
I was going to say, so Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't an ending for you.
No, see, it's.
I'll go with Guardians. I've not seen Aquaman.
I think for low light, I think can we?
Yes,
can we
I have low light. Yes, I have low light.
I've got one as well. So I'll let you.
Isn't
go
that just the rest of the movie? Rest of the releases?
No.
I have two, but I'm going to go with one.
Go ahead.
I think that's the most disappointing for me. So this is a very personal choice.
Yes.
Ant-Man Quantumania.
Yeah, so I'm with you. So I would go.
By far.
That's my low light. Okay. So we got three people saying, that's it's doesn't get
that came in lower than the Flash for me was like, wow.
Wait, Red, did you say Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom?
No, I said the Marvels is my low light.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay, the Marvels for you. Okay.
I hated that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
My other option was going to be Shazam 2, but that had a lot less to fold from compared to where I rated Ant-Man's from. So
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a very good way to put it. The fact that was my problem with the Ant-Man story. Like, the fall was too clear, the story was too bad, and the fact that you introduce such a monumental character and make him take an L, even if it's a variant of him, such a ridiculous L too. It's like, come on, like, that was disappointing. That was very disappointing.
It was. Today, did you have a particular low light for movies last year?
I mean, it's mostly shit here in terms of movies. But if I'm going to go with a low light, and not because I consider this movie bad, but because it was more disappointing, that would be The Flash. That would be my low light for me, because it pained me to see Flashpoint being adapted like that, and then the reception to it and everything. It was like, I think in terms of movie going experience this year, that would be my low light.
Okay, cool. So that's it for movies. Highlight feels like Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy, and then for low light we have between the Marvels, The Flash, and Quantumania. Yes.
No, I think today also picked Aquaman as his highlight.
As his highlight.
Yeah.
Okay. Animation. So animation last year could be TV or movies, right?
Yes.
So I'm looking at Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, Across the Spider-Verse, Scott Pilgrim, Invincible, My Adventures with Superman, Met Cadet U, What If Season 2.
Tough category.
Hang on.
Can we just say the entire category is an highlight on its own?
Yes.
Excuse me, what?
That
It was a good year for
is an highlight. Like,
yes.
animation was outstanding last year.
I think in all the categories we have today, this was the strongest category in 2023.
It was.
Yep, animation came strong last year, and there's so much to pick from. Like it was hard for me to pick my favorite animated anything last year.
But I also think it came strong, also in contrast to everything else, that they came so weak, in my view. So the contrast was it's even bigger. So it's not like, oh, we had great movies that were almost battling with it. To me, there's a massive gap between the number of things that I liked in that category compared to everything else.
For me, they made the case again for plumbing the depths, if you could use that term, of the talent working on animation for creative minds to actually work on the movies, because you see the story qualities and this telling of the stories and nurturing of characters and character and world building. It's ridiculously good. And like, why aren't these people involved in
Exactly? Absolutely. You wonder why. Like, why?
Like, why are you ignoring the animated crews?
To be fair, they brought the animated crew from Rick and Morty to Ant-Man,
which one?
Quantumania. From Rick and Morty, it was the animated crew, like one of the head writers from there that wrote the script for Ant-Man.
Yeah. I think you mentioned it before. Yeah, okay.
Every time you try to elevate something from the animation world, you think, oh, they're going to be great. And then you have your John Carter from Mars type scenario. You go, okay, wait, maybe.
And I think it's a function of the production process as well.
True.
For animated stuff, you need to get your script ready before you can start any production. For movies, and I think James Gunn has talked about this a bit, there are movies where the script is still being written and rewritten, and there's a lot of reshoots, even as the production is happening. So it makes for a more disjointed end result than in animated animations, where your storyboard has to be very clear.
So again, I point to John Carter as the outlier to that, because one of the reasons why John Carter was said to have struggled is because the director, his background is animation, and the flexibility that they tend to have in the Pixar process. He didn't have that with the movie, and trying to do that, it ballooned the quality, it ballooned the cost, it affected the quality, and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's debatable. It's really debatable. At the end of the day, I think going in with a good quality script, check, having a team, check, do your pre-production, check, previs done, everything done, then you come out with work as consistently as James Gunn. That's what I'll say. Anybody who doesn't do that, James Gunn he subtweets the person.
Well, he has Tom King on his crew now, so I don't know what he's thinking.
Well, at least I'll tell you this much: having Tom King on the crew with James Gunn supervising is better than having Tom King on his crew with, say, I don't know,
Zack
Snyder.
Point. I'll consider that until we see. Okay. I'll consider that. I won't argue that.
And any Snyder people can come for me later. I'll give you my.
They're here. They're here. They're there in the dark.
You don't have to go far. You don't have to go far.
Like literally sitting in the darkness during this call.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. He's in the dark. He's there.
We're talking about animation right now.
Right.
Animation.
Am I going first again?
Yes.
I'll say my highlight animation that surprised me how good it was My Adventures with Superman. I did not think it was going to be that good. It caught me off guard. The freshness of the storytelling, in the sense that I expected to watch, because I'm going to watch it with my kids. So I expected to watch it thinking I'd be nodding off on, I know the story already. But the storytelling was so different. It was like, oh, okay, they got some surprises here. I may need to, keep an eye on this. I was impressed by it in that sense, even though there are other things that I like. But I think the reason why it beats out, say, for example, the other top two contenders for me is because those are existing stuff that they didn't feel as fresh to me. I don't know why. I can't, I feel like, oh, okay, this, like, for example, Turtles for me, I felt like it's been reinvented multiple times. So I was already okay with that. Then what's the Spider-Man animation show, Across the Spider-Verse?
Yep.
It was good, but didn't surprise me the way My Adventures with Superman did.
Okay, fair enough. That one.
Well, mine was clearly Across the Spider-Verse by a mile. I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, so for me, for my highlight, that's my highlight. I mean, the other animation I liked a lot as well in the year, but Across the Spider-Verse wins it hands down for me as a main highlight for me.
It's not even close.
No, there's nothing else that's close to it. I've got two other ones. There's nothing. I'll come to my low light in a minute, and then we might be rolling in the in the floor. That one.
I saw your face when I
Yeah.
showed the highlight. Your face told me, "Whoa, that was just not."
But yeah, for me, it's Across the Spider-Verse.
All right.
What are your other two?
Oh no, don't let him say that now.
Well, it's nothing controversial in my mind. Anyway, it's What If and Invisible.
Okay, Red.
Okay.
Highlight.
So because my memory is horrible, my highlights definitely What If. I love season 2, episode 9 in particular. I've watched that thing like 5 times, if not more. I absolutely love it.
Red was sending me DMs. I've just posted this picture at 2.7. What is that? Is that Odin? Is that?
I absolutely loved it.
You enjoyed the Easter egg overload. Like,
Yes.
Who's this? Who's that? Who's this? Who's that? Who's shadow?
I want to give an honorable mention to My Adventures with Superman because I resisted watching it and kept telling me watch it. And this was the first show I saw how well you could handle superhero coming into his powers. That particular episode where he was having sensory overload and just he could hear people and was trying to do I save everyone? That just nudged it for me and took it up there for me as one of my highlights. And especially because I didn't want to give it a chance. I wasn't even going to watch it. So What If Across the Spider-Verse, I really didn't like how it ended. I loved it, but I don't like how it ended. So
I love how it ended. I'm so surprised. Really? I loved that ending. In fact, the ending made me want to go back and watch the very first one to see all the things that happened with that other spider.
It left me with more questions, but
that's the we can get back about it. It made you question then what seeds had they sown in the very first one? Because I was watching the first one with my son later, and I was like, "Oh my god, look at this stupid spider glitching," and I never saw it.
Oh, really?
Go back and see it.
Okay, I probably have to. I saw it glitching. I remember, but I have to go back and watch it.
I mean, when you now understand the significance of the glitching, you're like,
"Oh, okay, maybe I've not gone back to watch it."
Oh, so you didn't remember that glitching from the first one?
Are you asking me or him?
No, I remember it.
Okay, sorry. Did I remember it? Yes, but I didn't. The significance was lost on me.
Oh, okay.
After seeing this, I'm thinking, and then I was watching and I was reminded, like, oh my goodness, this was happening. This is why it was happening. And I had to respect. You got to respect proper world building, proper storytelling that lays seeds and picks up those seeds later on.
Continuity, yeah.
Oh my god, that kind of stuff always gets you. That's one of the strengths of Marvel back in the day that the MCU that seems to have lost now. We're not being able to pick up threads that it laid and everything. There's a lot of stuff now. It's like I don't even know what's happening. So yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Today, animation highlights.
Yeah. So for me, I'm going to cheat a bit because I think I love almost all of them, but some episodes and moments stand out to me, and one of them is the episode with Kaori in What If. I think that's one of the most beautiful episodes I've seen this year in anything. Period.
Yeah.
Like across TV shows, across everything, that's one of the best things on TV this year. I absolutely love that. The Atomics episode on Invisible, that special episode that she got.
Oh,
I absolutely love that.
Yeah, that was
that was this year.
Yeah, what episode on Invisible?
The special
Atom Eve.
The Atom Eve special.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about that one. Oh, I think that's taking over third place.
That is a really good.
That was a really good show.
Yeah, can't knock that.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Yeah, for me, it's Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, loved it. I will give an honorable mention to Turtles Mutant Mayhem because of the originality. And I know you say one could say that it was born of Across the Spider-Verse, but something has to start it. So I'm not going to belabor that point, but I think Mutant Mayhem is the first time we've actually seen teenage turtles even going back to like the 80s and the cartoon and such. So it was good. And they all had distinct personalities, which I liked. I love the TMNT that they did maybe 2 decades ago. So I've always been a Turtle fan. I will give this one a close second to Across the Spider-Verse. But yeah, we've had some good stuff. We had Met Cadet U as well, which is the Great Pack, based on the Great Pack comic book from Netflix. There was Nemoda on Netflix as well, which is based off of a graphic novel. So there have been some like sleeper hits. There was Scott Pilgrim from Netflix again,
which I heard was coming, and for some reason I haven't seen. I totally forgot about it.
I've not seen.
Oh, it's out. Yeah, it's good.
I think my Netflix algorithm has forgotten what I like.
There's been good stuff. There's been good stuff. Lowlights.
For animation?
Yes.
Right, can I go first? Because
just mention this.
You clearly want to fight, so go ahead.
It's my Adventures of Superman. Overall, I end up didn't like that show at all.
DC hater.
That's not going to do DC at all. What's funny is there's 10 episodes of that show that I liked, but overall, I just thought, I just realized I don't like the show. The whole robot thing, the whole design of the new villains, everything. I just kind of it was meh to me.
Okay, boomer.
Overall.
Okay, boomer.
So that was my low lights for animation.
It fell off. It fell off for me as well at the end.
Would I call it a low light?
That's my the way I feel is different from the way he feels about it. So I see his point. Like it's a personal low light.
I
get that this show is not for me. Like I watched that show and I'm like, okay, this show is clearly not for me. There are some elements in the show I don't like, but I won't now say it's a terrible show because of that. Or I'm grossly disappointed in the show.
Right. So I didn't use the word terrible. It's a low point for me. Animation wise.
In a year that had a lot of great stuff, a low point for him isn't necessarily a terrible thing. It just means
that's
I'll give you that.
In a class of 9s, having a 7 is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, well, no, having a 5. Sorry.
Dude, really? Come on.
So I'm even trying.
Sorry.
I'm trying to stake in the credit.
There's no way that show is a 5. Come on.
For me, it's a 5.
Wow.
It's a 5.
You're losing your touch, man.
Okay, fair enough. So we've got what? TV, animation.
Right. Kex, did you mention a low light?
I did have one.
Oh, you have one. Okay.
I don't think I have one. But
to
your point, I would mention these two: Meg Cadet and Scott Pilgrim. I was pleasantly surprised with those two shows. Yeah. I went in. Those are two shows I went in with really low expectations. That I didn't expect these things to be good, and I was surprised at how good they turned out at the end of the day. So just shout out to anybody who has not seen those two.
Can I say something about Scott Pilgrim?
My low light
go on.
is gonna maybe piss some of you off. And I'm not saying this to get back at that quote. My low light is What If.
What If? Okay, you're gonna get back at me. I'm gonna
in the sense that I had such high expectations for it, I feel like it didn't live up to my expectations. I didn't feel like the narrative thread through it was as good as it was in season 1. I didn't feel like the storytelling was as connected. I liked some of the stuff I was seeing, don't get me twisted, but it didn't have the same, oh wow, this stuff feels unique, but it's all tying to something, at the end of the day. I didn't really get that vibe from it, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed some episodes really well, a lot, very, very much, but I don't think I'd put it above the other stuff I liked. Then again, there's a number of other animated stuff I haven't seen, right? So I would say that. But in my top 3, it was My Adventures of Superman. It was followed by Across the Spider-Verse. I was going to put something else, but now I'm going to put the Atom Eve up there. That was really.
It was really good. It was really good.
Really good. Atom Eve was really good, man.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure why you guys are counting Invincible. At least in half a season. The next, so I'm just leaving. I'm not even counting Invincible.
Yeah, I'm not with it. It's 2024 for me.
I'm leaving that till later. Then I'm going to put Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But definitely, for me, What If comes after those those three.
Okay.
To your point, Jay, I think our first review of what is the first batch of episodes, we're all a bit down on it, and there were certain episodes we liked more than others, and overall, yeah. So I get where you're coming from about it. For me, like I said, the Cowrie episode was my standout, not What If season 2 as a whole. So yeah, up to a point, I agree with you on What If season 2 being a bit of a disappointment.
So
but
if you
that's like
remove
calling.
if you remove Kaori, how would you feel about the whole show?
You need to, yeah, my ratings go down drastically if I remove Cowrie.
There you go.
But it's like what that was said, a 9 to a 7. Like season 1 was a 9, and then season 2 being a 7, a 6.
You sure it's not a 5?
The
Yeah,
thing
just
is,
looking for violence.
they was a trigger me, but the person going to get triggered is not me. It's going to be Red.
I'm just all I'm going to say is let's just be on record that Tunde's favorite show and episode for 2023 is a Marvel show. That's it.
I didn't
That
say my
actually
favorite
is
show.
mind-blowing
I said my
enough,
favorite
to be
show.
fair.
That's how I'm
I
going to
said my
close it.
favorite episode, not a show. Please.
That is mind-blowing enough to be fair.
Yeah.
Although, can I say something else? I'm surprised that, I mean, I enjoyed the Kaori episode. I really did. I thought it was very original, really good storytelling. I thought it was great I don't know if you guys heard, there were some Spanish people who were upset by this show because they didn't like the way they were portrayed. And other people were like, hey,
I'm not surprised. I didn't hear about it.
Everybody's dirty laundry is coming out. No one group is the angel all through history, and that's the simple truth. And you guys have a lot to as far as your history is concerned. But besides that episode, I mean, I enjoyed it, but I don't think I didn't feel like it had a lot of praise. People were so falling all head over heels for it. And I was like, this feels like it felt like the way people were praising Wonder Woman, the first one.
Okay.
That's a great movie. I'm like, yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's not.
I love it. I love it.
This is exactly this is how we feel about My Adventures with Superman.
I don't doubt it. Everybody
when
has
you
their
talk about it, I'm like, I mean, okay, all right.
Again, like I said, so My Adventures. So I openly accept that the reason I was excited about it is because I had such low expectations. Like I thought it was going to be a super woke fest, twist everything without good storytelling. It still did all that, but it didn't sacrifice good storytelling. And I thought, okay, cool. I enjoyed this. This was really good. And it was fresh. And watched it with the kids and family. And it was a very positive experience watching it. So I took that as a solid plus.
Your blasphemy against Kaori aside, I'm going to ignore that. Just to move on and have peace.
All right, so let's move to TV. Otherwise, we're never going to do it.
Oh, TV.
It feels like we didn't have a lot of
positive
TV shows, right? This year,
not that many. No, and I'll be honest, I didn't watch some stuff.
I think you're correct. There was not as many as we would normally have, which I think in itself is not a bad thing. But having said that, we got so much less, but I don't think it has helped the quality either. You'd have thought, okay, less is more. In this case, less was less.
Okay, let me run down the list that I have here, and you guys tell me if I'm missing anything. So we have Loki, and this is in no order, chronological or alphabetical. So we had Loki season 2.
Yeah.
We had Gen V come out.
Yeah.
We had Secret Invasion from MCU.
Yeah.
We had Bodies, which is based on a graphic novel. And then
Bodies. Yeah, about that. Yes.
And then we had Extraction 2 as well. So Extraction 1 is based off a graphic novel, but let's add Extraction 2.
You understand that.
I'm confused. We're talking about TV series, right?
Yes. Extraction
is a movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to wonder, did they make a series with that?
Yeah. It's
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bodies, Secret Invasion, Gen V, and Loki.
And can you add Moving?
You're forgetting one.
Moving. Okay, no, go ahead. Please tell me. I'm open.
Doom Patrol.
Was that 23 or
something? Yeah. I mean, we didn't watch it, so but I do.
You are forgetting a lot, actually.
A lot.
American-born Chinese. American-born Chinese is
American-born Chinese.
Never actually got to watch.
It's
Funny enough, I
based
got the
off-
comic book so I could read it, and then it was just here. I never read it, and then finally my library was like, "Can you bring it back? Can you bring it back?" So I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'll bring it back," and I took it back some days ago. I still haven't read it.
Today, which one did you mention again? Today? Okay.
I thought it said ABC.
He's on mute. Tunde, you're on mute.
I said American.
No, yeah.
Oh,
American-born Chinese, Gotham
Yeah.
Knights, Superman and Lois.
I'm not adding that. I'm not adding that.
Oh God, government. No, I'm adding
What was it you added after Gotham Knights?
I didn't watch it, and a friend of mine just work on it. But
What?
I'm gonna be straight up.
What did you say after Gotham Knights?
No.
Superman and Lois.
Superman and Lewis.
Yes. Yeah, yes.
Yes.
I'm actually surprised you
Superman
didn't
and Lewis
know
or Lewis and
Superman and
Superman.
Lois.
What's it called?
Funny enough,
Did you also get Titans this year?
Oh,
I
that's
did.
a good question.
yeah, we did now. We did now.
Season
Actually,
four.
thank you for reminding me of that. Today
We have a lot of lowlights to talk about.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've got something else out of my list. Thank you very
Your
much.
life is a low light.
It's strange. Every single show you mentioned that now, I watched every single one of them.
You saw every single one of them.
Yeah, I just
You watched
realized that.
Gotham Knights?
You did.
Yeah,
You are a sucker for punishment, dude.
yeah, I did.
The way you baby this CW things is amazing to me.
And nobody saw the final season of The Flash. Nobody watched
I
that?
watched. I went to watch the last 4 episodes.
You need to take it easy.
Wait, you only watched the last 4 episodes, not the whole season?
Is this
No.
what you're going to say on your deathbed that you're watching the last
He
4
died.
episodes?
I left the remote in hand, and then I have CW on the screen. And that's how I passed away.
Oh my god.
Man.
Okay. Jay, do you have a highlight for TV this year?
I'm
Yeah.
okay.
I
So
mean,
yeah, I have a highlight episode, but
okay,
overall
we'll take it.
series, I have a highlight series and a highlight episode of a totally different series.
We'll take it.
Okay, so my standout series for this season, last year for me was Gen V, and it's because I went in with like, oh, there's a boy spin-off. I think I saw the first episode and thought, nah, it's another shock fest. Well, I don't really give a crap about this, and I moved on. Then sometime much later, after all the buzz had died down, I went back and I started again. I just watched it again, and I got into it. I was surprised. I was binging the whole thing overnight. Like, oh wow, this is okay. I got into the show and I thought they've successfully created a whole different thing that stands on its own 2 feet. Apart from, like, it didn't need the cameos to be anything. Just these characters are interesting in and of themselves, and I enjoyed it. I thought, okay, this world is legit, and I enjoyed this show. My standout episode is the finale of Loki season 2, and I watched that the whole time going, are these guys going to stick the landing? Where are they going with this? It was the whole time you're going, it's taking me along. I already care about these other characters, so I was invested. But I was tempted. I think midway through, I was tempted sometimes to just say, you know what? I may not finish this thing. I might not finish it. And then finally I did, and I thought, oh, wow. Talk about creating a great way to, end the story, end with this character. If they ended there, I'm like, good. If you don't come back on another season, I'm good. But at the same time, they come back with another season, or they bring this character back into the MCU itself, I'm also good. This is the first time I saw them do something with Loki where they brought him back into the main movie universe. I would be happy. If they tried to bring him back as he was at the end of season 1, I'd be like, no, So yeah.
Those First Contact movies, when you are watching an alien trying to behave and he's talking in a very strange fashion, and you're wondering what's going on.
Yes.
That's how I felt when Jay was talking about Loki's season finale. Like, I don't understand what he's trying to say. It feels very strange to me. It's like a different culture entirely. Wow. Okay.
Can I build on your metaphor a bit today?
Yeah.
I felt the same way, but I've seen a whole country of aliens talking that way online, where they've all been praising. So I've got used to the fact that there's this alien nation out there that I feel that way about the show, and especially about that episode. I've seen the same similar comments along the line of. So I'm not even that shocked that that view exists.
The aliens are among you.
The walk amongst us.
I know it's interesting because we talk about Loki a lot here, but it's like seeing your point of view is like completely opposite of what
you guys have been your own echo
reaction
when it comes to Loki.
Yeah, so it's always interesting when you're hearing someone else talk about something from a completely different perspective. And wow, okay, you like Loki?
I did not. That's what I'm saying. The Loki show for me, it was I didn't enjoy the show. Like the show was going, I wasn't enjoying it. I was not enjoying it. The introduction of Victor Timely was annoying me. I wasn't sure I was enjoying Jonathan Major's performance. The other characters were losing. I was losing interest in them. I didn't really care what they were doing. I thought one of them should have died sooner. And then some of the newer characters were like, what is this person's relevance here? And then, Loki finally, I can just spoil it, right? Loki finally comes into his own in a whole different way. He gets the throne he wanted. He becomes the
God of light.
In a sense, he's like the Deus Ex Machina himself of the future. I don't know how. There's so many ways they can use him in the future, and it was a really, really good ending for me. And the irony is that in being that character, it's one of those things where it's like, how in Endgame they find Endgame Infinity War, they find what happened to Red Skull, how Red Skull becomes this character. That could have been an epic story in and of itself if there was a story to be told there. I feel like it's the same kind of thing that happened with Loki. We've gone behind the curtain. We've happened to see this whole thing happening that nobody else ever saw. And if they ever cross into that realm, they'll see him and think, how the hell did you get there? But we will know what he's gone through. We will know what crafted him to become this guy. I just really was moved by that. I thought it was really good. And again, aliens are among you.
Okay, cool. Dapo, do you want to go TV?
Yeah, so I watch a lot of TV, not a lot of it good, but my highlights is very easy for me. It's weird. You mentioned one at the very last minute that I've totally forgotten about, and I thought was also very good, but I still think my original thought is still and it's Moving, the Korean superhero show called Moving. That is my highlight. I think it was just slightly a bit of. I didn't know what to expect when I went to watch it, and there was a high chart of it being very Korean-y, if you know what I mean by that. And
you're being recorded.
Did you just see an entire nation as a
39 minutes 10 seconds when you're scrubbing this? Just remember.
No, it's true. I know
that boy. You just used an entire nation.
I will say that because it's on my list of things to watch. I haven't watched it yet.
So listen, you guys, you're all acting all nice and polite. You know exactly what I mean. There's a certain when you watch Korean TV shows, there's certain things you expect. There's certain love triangles, that kind of stuff that goes on. And I was expecting that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not even against that because I've watched a few Korean shows, which, despite those aspects, I still enjoy it. But
we get it. You watch a lot of TV.
I do. But I enjoyed this. I found I quite enjoyed it a lot, and it's quite surprising. I mean, there's some episodes where you thought, maybe it's shocking a bit, but overall, I found it a good watch, and I really enjoyed it towards the end. And there was a particular episode. I don't like using the word beautiful because I'm not caked and I'm not one to shed tears up and down all over the place. But there's one particular episode that I thought was quite beautiful. I might say, and I think that's a show where the whole show changed for me. I can't remember the number, but it was a flying episode when he finally started flying. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, where that was a good one.
He tried to get. Basically, he was getting rid of the shackles of his mom, the overprotective shackles of his mom, and he flew. And it's almost like like a coming of age moment. I enjoyed the show a lot. And
was that a pun or it actually flew?
It's both. It's literally both.
Metaphor.
Yeah, it's a metaphor and it's an actuality, but the actuality mirrors what the metaphor is meant for. Yeah, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was. So that's my highlight. I want to do an honorable mention.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure, even though Kex mentioned it, when they're going to pick it. My honorable mention would be Bodies. I did enjoy that. It's something I knew. I did not read the graphic novel, so I went in fresh, and yeah, it was good. I'm a time travel guy. I had certain issues, but overall, I think I enjoyed that a lot. And so that's my second favorite because I think that a lot of the rest, for me, were very, very meh or bad.
I'm halfway through Bodies. I'm currently angry, and I'm not sure I want to continue.
Okay.
So I just got annoyed. I'm like, what the hell? And then I didn't feel like I wanted to continue anymore.
I'm going to echo that on moving, and like you said, in a big way, it's due to expectations. Because I didn't expect anything from movies, and it turned out to be surprisingly good, with some really good action sequences, some overall good stories told. And fun enough, now that I think about it, if this movie was coming from an American show, I think I'll be a lot harsher on it because I would have been expecting slightly different levels of storytelling and all of that. But because it's sufficiently different enough and novel enough in the way it's taking the story, I was like, I excused a lot there. But it made up for it. I don't think
You did.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Here we go.
That's what I'm saying. But like I liked it because of that. Like I ended up. There's some moments I enjoyed. I would also give a shout out to Gen V, even though it fell off towards the end. I think there are some topics they explored really well at the beginning, and some of the characterizations at first and how it handled it was really, really good. We don't see some of these questions asked a lot on TV shows, and it's really tried its best before it started falling off into some very parody kind of storytelling. So yeah.
What was that last one you referred to?
Gen V.
Yeah.
Okay. Red TV.
So I didn't watch a lot of TV last year.
Okay.
Out of everything I watched, I had no highlights. So I'll keep it short.
You're saying everything you watched was meh.
Yes. Meh to below average. Meh to below meh. Yeah.
Now I'm curious, what did you watch?
I saw Bodies, I saw Secret Invasion, I saw quite a bit.
And you're calling Secret Invasion below average.
Jesus Christ.
Please.
What's that? It's worse than below average, but let's continue.
Exactly. You said meant to below average. I'm like, what are you saying?
Oh, it just keeps going. It just keeps going down.
Okay. For me, I am in exactly the same boat as Jay. The best thing I saw last year was that end sequence of Loki. I came and I was shouting. I came on here on this podcast. Wait, I need to rephrase this. I was on this podcast and I was telling you how much I enjoyed it. Like I loved it so much.
I think the way you phrased it originally.
I thought they lost their minds here.
I think the way you phrased it originally was correct. You came here and we were disgusted with you coming on the show.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, I couldn't understand how. I think Red was the only one who really felt where I was coming from. Like
me,
see that face.
You know how much I dislike Loki.
Understood my POV.
No, Kex, we got where you're coming from. We're just annoyed.
Yeah,
we got where you're coming from. We're just annoyed that it was a very stupid point of view.
Like I couldn't like bring you guys up. When I'm like, come on, like this was so cool. You're like, no, you could have been better all through. I was like,
you tried though. I must admit, you tried. You were trying to fight for it, but
it was
we shall not greenwood.
A good sequence. Again, I did like the earlier depictions of Victor Timely. I thought that was very bad acting, it was too neurotic for me. So the end was able to save the series for me, guys. I like season 2 of Loki. Sue me. I don't know whether I would call it my highlight of the year because I liked Gen V up until a certain point, and then it fell off steeply for me, particularly that end of Gen V. If I had to rewatch one of them, I think I would rewatch season 2 of Loki, simply because I like to go back and see what I missed and see if I could be a bit more forgiving towards it. Gen V started to irritate me at some point. So my highlight, I'm just going to stand on it. My highlight was Loki, season 2.
I'm surprised. Titans were not your highlight.
I enjoy Titans, but Titans is a guilty pleasure for me. So I can't really jump in front of a bullet for Titans. It's something that I like, but I can't really like that. I can't stand for it. But yeah, I liked it. I liked it. My low lights, and I think we all probably
are we going there? Oh, we started.
Are we doing that now? God.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion, man. I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm watching this thing. It's not getting better. You're killing characters in an undeserved way. I'm like, why? And then you end in such an absurd. You bring in such an absurd romantic love interest for Fury. Look, I can't think of one thing, honest to God, that I really liked about that show.
My question, I had only one question. Who approved this?
The AI in in
She-Hulk.
Clearly was the one behind it.
She-Hulk.
Yeah, Feige outsourced it to Chat AI, and Chat AI came up with that script because there's just no way.
Because it makes no sense. There's no
like,
way.
what exactly is this? I'm watching this thing thinking, I honestly liked She-Hulk more than this crap. Like, which is saying a lot.
I will agree with you on that.
Do you know what? I agree with you.
Word I never thought I would say this time last year.
Somebody's rubbing his beard.
I never thought in my wildest dreams I would say I liked the She-Hulk show more than anything. And I did not think I would say I liked it more than Secret Invasion. I was looking forward to it.
I'm going to sink with this ship. I'm not going to give that for this one. I'll sink with this boat. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. It was
Are you done?
No. Including your wife that was safe. The fact that she was in this show was terrible. Everything about it was terrible. There was no saving grace. Plus the spy craft.
Oh, who's my wife?
Huh? Your wife now? What's her name?
Okay. Sorry. Well, okay. So
Olivia Colman will put something on glass and say, "Oh, I'm a super spy. I can torture you to get answers." And she, get the fuck out of here, please.
Can you please pay respect to a legend of the silver screen? Are you mad? My whole queen, please.
Sorry,
she was the best thing in the show.
That we're talking about here.
Sorry,
Olivia Colman.
Olivia Colman.
Oh,
yeah. So
okay. I take it back. There was one thing that was good about the show. Olivia Colman was good. Beyond that,
oh, she's solid.
Even Samuel
solid herself.
Me all the way through.
Sorry.
What the hell?
Yeah, I think we're talking. Let's leave it. It's shit. It's shit. It's
right. So
anybody have any other new lights?
All of them talk.
Okay.
To me, it actually my answer is the same answer as you guys, but for different reasons entirely. And that's more that I think that I've watched worse shows this year than that. But it's one
comic book TV shows.
Yes.
Like
I watched Titans. I watched Gotham Knights.
You watch actual trash. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So, but
yes, Titans was better than that.
But the point is, I went to Titans knowing it was shit. So I had no expectations. It was exactly where I expected it to be. Same as Gotham Knights. It was. I kind of guessed how bad it was going to be, and it was that bad. So I didn't have that great a big drop in expectations. I didn't think it was a low light. It's like you can't pick something from the bottom of the trash and expect it to taste great. But Secret Invasion, it's like I walked into a 4-star restaurant, and they're serving me something that from like my local PFC, not even KFC. Those PFCs you see around the corner. So I think that disappointment itself is why I would still agree that was the
serving food from the food truck.
Yeah, I was really disappointed. I think it was more disappointment for me than anything else with that show. I was really looking forward to it, and I think I remember a very few episodes. I was headcanoning a lot of the stuff along, but then it gets to a point where these guys were not even trying to try along with me. So fuck you.
I remember when I attacked the season from the very first scene, the way that pancakes came for me, I said it from the very first opening scene that this show was trash. And they came for me that Atunde, you're speaking rubbish, you're speaking the nonsense. I told you so. I told you so was legendary back then.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Honest to God, has there been anything more disappointing than Secret Invasion in recent memory?
Disappointing? I doubt it.
Yes,
Quantumania. WW84.
Show.
Yeah, shows.
TV show, yeah.
Movie 84 is on another
TV
level.
shows.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No,
that's hard.
No. There hasn't been. No. Yeah. You over quantified it. There hasn't been.
The fact that it fell below She-Hulk is the only reason why I would say no.
There hasn't been.
She-Hulk is a good show. All this, I'm not even. See,
Rest.
I was trying. No, I'm not resting. I shall not agree.
Rest.
I will not agree. She was a highlight for me. Anyway, you know that anyway. So I'm not allowed any She-Hulk.
I enjoyed parts of She-Hulk, but as a complete show,
I love that show.
Oh, shit.
I absolutely love that show.
As a complete show, I'm like, nah. Because here's the thing. I liked what they were trying to do. I liked the storytelling. I disliked them making the audience the villain at the end and then throwing away all the narrative storylines that they were doing. So for me, that just took away like 5 points right off. I'm like, why are you doing that? So everything else they did, I was defending that show from episode to episode to episode because I said this is like reading an actual She-Hulk comic book. If you've ever sat and read the comic, this is like I said, all this craziness is just like the She-Hulk comic book. Everything I was saying was like that, and then they get to the end and they say, "Oh, by the way, we know you hate it. That's why we're making you." I'm like, "Get the hell out of here!" Like seriously, seriously. Nah, I hated that. Anyway, Dakpo loved it, so I guess they have.
So that one liked it, yes. So testament to all the demons that he's battling. Okay, so we've done TV, we've done movies, we've done animation. So should we do comic books then?
I'm trying to remember. Did Dakpo like Moon Knight?
What night?
Yes, Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
I loved Moon Knight.
Moon Knight is the podcast best TV series from this year.
Okay. I don't remember if Dakpo liked it.
So what do you mean that statement? Can you qualify it with how you?
Yeah, because we did a poll with the 5 of us, and we gave our rankings and we assigned numbers, and that was the highest rated one. So
you're going to just over how you on purpose rated a rival show very low, just
She-Hulk.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, when you said shows, was that for that year?
That was that year. That year was
not like of all time or anything.
No,
not all time. No.
That was just that year.
I'm very interested in hearing the top rated show of all time on this podcast.
That would be Watchmen. Easy.
Huh? I said show.
Watchmen.
The HBO show, probably.
I think that's the one show we're all unanimous about in prison.
I think that would be it. Actually.
Probably. It'll just barely edge. And you all look at me and say, "Get out!" When I say this, it'll barely edge Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for me.
Get out.
What?
I said I knew somebody to say
Don't get me wrong. I'm an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fanboy. But wait, the whole seasons.
Every season.
Like half of it was good and half of it was shit. But the half that was good, there's some really, really, really good seasons. Like there's some individual seasons that were like awesome.
Yeah. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is fun. Okay, comic books now?
Yes, this is gonna be hard.
Yes.
Jay, did you read any good comic books? Any comic books you've
I'm
seen?
gonna say last year was very poor for me for comics. I'm gonna do this on the sidelines here. I jumped in and I read 2 or 3 episodes here, but I didn't read anything at any stretch. Like this was it. I mean, I caught up on some Nightwing. I read up on a little. I caught one Batman story or the other. So I don't have any arc in my head. Like I was really
okay, that's fair. Okay. That what highlights comic books last year, and if you've got lowlights, go ahead.
Yeah. So I guess my number one highlight was for once the comeuppance that the mutants got in 2023.
I mean, for once,
you really have a problem. You really have a problem.
A serious problem. A very
I will
serious
say
problem.
that I'm surprised you're saying that, even if I don't read the stuff. Because okay, so every time once Hickman came back, everything he did, I still haven't caught up on. So I'm that far back.
Right. So
but the whole time it was happening, I told myself they're setting these guys up for a fall. It's the X-Men way.
Yeah, it was. What made me laugh? I guess there's a bit of a pettiness in my enjoyment of this, because all along I've been telling certain people, I won't mention names, about how certain characters are this and how can and they're fighting and arguing with me, and a lot of people saw the whole Krakoa thing as, oh yeah, look at the mutants, yeah, what they're doing is right, even though clearly you can see the seeds of their downfall already in there, and a lot of things I was saying. So now to see people's reaction when they basically I would say they got screwed over, but they almost screwed themselves over. I enjoyed it a lot. Not being a mutant hater, I do like certain mutants, but in terms of mutant leadership, them getting their comeuppance, I enjoyed it a lot. So I would say overall, the whole, let me call it the fall of the X-Men. Let me call it that.
It wasn't just the fall of the X-Men, it was the fall of the entire mutant race. So let's quantify.
Okay. So where
the fall of the mutant race.
Mutant hater. That's where you're going, right?
No, mutant hater. It wasn't able me now due to the bad governance of their leadership. Yes, that was quite enjoyable for me. So that was the highlight for me of the whole year.
Where are Reed's kids?
What is concern Reed here? What is why are you bringing Reed? Why are you bringing Reed into this? This is the pettiness that you are known for. Pettiness you are known for.
Just asking a question, Chad. Okay, go on.
That boy is like, I'm not racist, but I support genocide.
When you said I'm not an X-Men mutant hater, I started laughing in my mind.
That's what they do.
No, I'll tell you. Okay, and now I'm going to get this podcast cancelled. The best analogy is this. I got no issue.
Wait. Let me go.
What's the analogy? I can't say
myself.
That for all?
Okay. Do I need to step away?
Forget
you
step
might
away.
actually
I need my camera.
You might need to step away. What? I am a opponent of the Israeli government's behavior.
Okay, I have to step away.
But I do not have any issues with the
Cakes has left the chat. I'm serious.
That is the I don't know what I'm trying to make. But my issue's always been with the leadership of the mutants.
Can you expand a bit to what you mean? That's your point.
And while you do so, would you mind letting us know what your religious beliefs are?
I'm not a religious believer at all. I don't believe in God.
Okay.
So that is where I was going with that. You can disagree with a government, not like the people. It's like I talk about America. You know how I always attack Red about your American government and stuff I do. But do I hate Americans? No, of course I don't.
But you call all of them mad, Dapo.
Well, Kex, you know Red now. See Red now. Is he not mad? Yeah. This is the example of people we have to deal with now. My brother's also American. You have Jay there as well. They're not normal now. So
okay,
but,
all right.
Hold up. I may have missed something here. So, what exactly is your allusion or the connection between the X-Men, the mutants, and what's going on in Israel?
No,
Jay, I thought we were done. No,
it's not even that deep. What I'll say is, whenever I attack the mutants, I'm always attacking their leadership, i.e., Xavier, Magneto.
Right.
That's what it's
the leader.
No. I've always said to these guys, they're villains in my view. They're villains. They're no different than people like American again, but they just do what suits them by any means necessary, and they try to present as heroes. Savior's not a hero, and I've never been a hero in my mind.
We've had this argument a lot.
Never, not even when you were younger.
Right. You see, when I was young, obviously, it's like the good PR when I was young. I used to think America was the land of milk and honey and all things good.
It is.
But as you grow older, you get wiser, and then you start realizing.
Are you kidding? Should I go get my milk and honey?
Exactly. It is.
You start realizing that it's good PR, and it's the same in comics. It's the same way when I was growing up. I used to think what Spider-Man was doing was good. As a 14-year-old going around fighting crime, I had no issue with it because that's where I was in my life. But when you look from an adult point of view, you go, you decrease. I sent my son to go and read school book in Xavier school, and then I see him on the news fighting Magneto with nuclear bombs. What kind of, he should be doing the A levels? Is that what he's doing? So I start to say, okay, the Savior is not really this great guy. The guy is mind white people left, right, and center. He does what so that's where I'm coming from. But this guy turned it to me hating all mutants.
You do, but okay. All right. So, is that the only highlight you have for the year?
No. Okay.
Any honorable mentions? Go on. Yeah.
Honorable mentions. Best of Prey. Best of Prey.
Okay.
Like it a lot.
Very good book. Yes.
Shazam.
Very, very good book.
Yeah, very good.
Really?
Very easy, light heart.
Yes.
Very good read.
Yes.
Easy read.
Yes.
And
the art is
matches the tone.
It fits the tone of very good. Very good.
It's Mark Waid.
Yeah, Mark Waid
finding his form again. I think he's doing that a lot more recently.
Yeah, he's doing that with Teen Titans as well.
And what's the other one? The team of
World Finest.
Yeah, World Finest.
World's Finest. Yes. World's Finest.
And my last honorable mention, and I'm just going to say this because I know somebody's going to hiss, is Thor.
Immortal Thor.
Yes.
It's bullshit.
Nonsense.
It's bullshit. Okay. Any lowlights?
There's a lot. There's a lot.
Okay, let's go. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to bother. No.
Okay. Today,
you can just put Tom King as lowlights.
Okay. I could, but I won't because with him, out of 3, 1 would be good. And then 2 is nonsense. But the nonsense will be really nonsense but then I'll leave talking about it. I've done enough hate throughout 2023. I'll allow him. I'm going to allow him in 2024.
Okay, today.
Highlights. I think Disney's light-hearted comic books this year has been good.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is their overall strategy for comics going forward. It's not my preferred strategy. I prefer epic, grand scale storytelling. But right now, they are not doing that. But they're doing a lot more focus. Like you see Fire and Ice. You see books like, you mentioned Shazam. Books like, what's this thing called again? There's this other book that came out this year. I think someone mentioned it already.
Teen Titans.
Peacemaker. Peacemaker.
Oh, yeah.
I have Peacemaker on the list.
Yeah, so books like that, they've been really good to read, really enjoyable. Like you can recommend them for almost anybody. Just pick it up and you'll be done with it. So I think that strategy is paying off for DC. And I would also add War Journal to the list of highlights for this year. I've not been a fan of any John Stewart's Green Lantern book ever. I like him from the TV shows, but in terms of comics, he's been the most annoying Green Lantern to read about. But in this particular book, is very good. I would recommend it for anybody. It's like I think for me, it's one of Disney's highlights for this year when it comes to comic book. Other highlights, I'll mention books like Avengers Inc. It's a fun read, and people should give it a read. It's short.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah. So that kind of book was short but it was good. And yes, I think that's it for me. Lowlights, definitely Krakoa's Fall. That has to be I can't remember the last time I've been this pissed at comic book storytelling.
Yeah.
It's like has to be some of the worst. writing I've seen in a long time. Like it's one of the most irritating storytelling. And at this point, like I said, I'm no longer reading any X-Men books. And I don't think I can go back to X-Men books for a very long time. Because how do you take such a grand idea?
You're traumatized?
I'm traumatized, so I can't do it again. I can't do this. I can't go back to reading about
Red. What's that phrase from Nigeria? He's paid. He's paid.
No. See that one. Forget what I like. Forget about liking mutants or not. But I can't after reading about this epic storytelling go back to reading about mutants running around in the streets trying to hide from government and fighting sentinels again, which is where they are going back to. Just to get in. I'm like, I can't do that again. You've already done something so grand. It's like, why? It's like reading about Spider-Man suffer head over and over again. Like after his marriage was cancelled by Mephisto, I didn't read Spider-Man books for the longest time. Because it's like, what's the point? It's too you can't be taking me one step forward, 10 steps backwards. It's just to maintain some status quo. Change things, keep things fresh. That's what I look forward to in books. But yeah, no, so that's been the absolute low light for comics.
Bro, listen, I'm with you. That's one of the reasons why I find it hard to stay consistent reading comic books. After a while, it's like, you know what? Where are we going? Like, there's no sense of a destination. And even when you attain certain things, they would find it a ridiculous way to break you down to nothing. Which is why Invincible is my favorite comic book series of all time, because I just like the fact that it's such a linear, progressive story all the way. Well, it's not always progressive and linear, but it generally is touched here and it goes there, and consequences matter, things happen, and they stay, and that kind of stuff. I'm like, do that, tell fresh stories, keep going, But they just keep wanting to. You gotta keep, like you said, keep Spider-Man poor. X-Men have to be the underdogs no matter what, and so on. By the way, I just looked online. I saw Games Radar has their own list for 2023, and top of that list is Avengers Inc. A few of your picks. Top of that list, Avengers Inc. and some others. Like, okay, I guess I have stuff to look at later.
Yeah. You should look at some of those books. They're really good. And to your point, what annoyed me the most about this Krakoa's Fall is even less that it felt, even though that's an existing pain, it's how it happened. It's like, if you're going to do this thing, it's not something you do in one issue. You don't dissolve a government in just one issue. Like, it's a sprawling story. You tell it well. I would have been very pained and disappointed if it was a good story, but it was a shit story. It was like one of the worst ways to write it. Everybody was just stupid, and it just basically killed everybody in one book. And you're like, what the fuck are you guys writing? See, I can rant for days about Krakoa's Fall because that's how much it pained me when I read it. Yeah, so that's like the worst thing. Yeah. If you're saying low light of the year, I will probably still pick that particular comic book as my low light of the year in terms of content.
I owe today a drink or two when I see him in Nigeria. He needs to spend that a bit.
Very painful. And I don't see you. I don't hear you bigging it up, which is interesting.
What?
On this list, they've got Immortal Thor, and I don't hear you bigging that up.
He mentioned it.
Were you really listening just now?
Well, I wasn't really listening. I'll give you that. So I'll be paying attention.
I mentioned it. It's shit. And Kek was attacking me.
It's shit.
Wait, did you not say Birds of Prey?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I was mentioning Birds of Prey. That was a good book. Yeah.
Birds of Prey, really. My brain that's what locked me in. I was expecting to hear the usual. I kind of tuned out, and I heard Birds of Prey, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I know, but that's a good book. Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
Any other low lights?
Nothing that comes close to that. So I'll leave that as the low light of the year.
Okay, Red.
So I don't read too many comics this year. Barely. I mean, I read the Daredevil that you recommended.
Yes.
But just to annoy yourself and Tunde, Immortal Thor goes to the top of my list because I'm reading that one. Yeah. So that's my highlight.
Okay.
I'll still be joining you.
Low lights? Eddie?
No. I didn't read any of the X-Men comics. I didn't have the time to
you did,
to it.
I would say you didn't miss much. Yes, probably a good thing that you didn't. Highlights for me this year. Funny enough, I think I had more fun with DC this year than with Marvel. But it's weird because my highlights are actually Marvel books. So the best ongoing series this year, apart from, of course, Nightwing, has been for me Ghost Rider and Doctor Strange. Yeah, Ghost Rider has been
Did not expect that.
been good. Oh yeah, Benjamin Percy.
Okay, I've not really liked it. It's been okay. I've not really liked it. But I think I've loved it. I've liked the horror element. Okay. I think I've got an issue with Ghost Rider now.
Go on.
No. I'm just saying. No, not from time, but because I'm reading the book and I can see how some people like it, but it's kind of left me a bit cold. Yeah.
Okay.
Doctor Strange, I totally agree with. I love that book.
Yeah. Doctor Strange. Okay. That one too is very good. And the art styles are very different, very fitting of the tone. So for what's it called? For Ghost Rider, it's very body horror, very, very Cronenberg-esque. Like when he's changing, like sometimes like the flames will just, like he will burn from the inside out, and like you see his skin like sloughing off, and then the ghost like Rider persona will come out. The cage burst from his mouth, and it's so visceral, but it's very in tune with the style of with the character, with the kind of character we're talking about, and it has a very strong horror element. Like I said, lots of like.
And I think
he's fighting a lot of rituals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Immortal Hulk when they brought when they started.
It's like Immortal Hulk when they started doing like when he would change the A-Wing one.
Because Immortal Hulk was like, what? It was good.
It was exactly like that. It's like sometimes you see Hulk try and come out of Bruce's mouth and then he'll burst out and so stuff like that. So Ghost Rider has been a very strong ongoing series from it. It's been a highlight. Doctor Strange as well. They're on issue 10 or 11 now. And the art style for that too it's very maybe maybe the art style is the old Doctor Strange art style where he's got like his hair is like funny and he's got like sharp eyebrows, but the coloring is very
right.
It feels very surreal. You need to read one or two issues to understand where I'm coming from, but it's really so those have been highlights for me. There's been a short story, Wolverine versus Predator, like it's just been like 4 issues. Oh man. Benjamin Percy, it's been very good. Like it shows the history that Wolverine and the Predator have. So the Predator first came to Earth like when Wolverine was a teenager or something. That was their first encounter. So they fight. The Predator goes, fucks off, comes back like maybe like another 20 years again, searches for Wolverine, and then they go at it again. So it's very good. It's 4 issues. They fight in feudal Japan. They fight in like the harsh cold of Alberta. They fight in the expansion at one point. But yeah, it's good. I enjoyed that one. Other highlights, I think I have one recommendation for the year, which is a graphic novel. I think that I told you to read this book. Do the Power Bomb. It's Daniel Warren Johnson. It's
the wrestling one. Yeah, I remember that.
Wrestling one. Yeah. I love that book so much. I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, man, this is what and like something happens at the start of the book that you don't expect at all, and I won't spoil it for you. And that kind of sets the tone for the book. And so it's about a wrestling family basically, and the father doesn't want the daughter to wrestle because it's dangerous.
Not the Von Erichs.
Not the Von Erichs, no, thank God. But something similar happens at the start of the book. So the father doesn't want the daughter to wrestle, but she's like, so she joins an underground wrestling ring and, she wrestles on the ground. And it's like 5 issues, but it's so good. They do lots of moves as well. They'll be like, like Scythe of the Lord. Like, and then they'll show someone jumping, like doing a clothesline. And then like in the background, almost, I would say in the background, like almost superimposed, you see like a scythe in there. It's like manga-ish. It's so cool. Like you should read that book. So that was one of my huge highlights for the year. Low lights for the year. I'll highlight my best artist this year was Dan Mora. My best writer this year was Mark Waid. Like they go so well together. They go so well together.
It's a dream team. Those two.
It's a dream team. Dream team. My low light this year, and I know I will hear some pushback, has been Gods. it's been. Let me tell you how bad it is. I have 3, and I'm like, I have got 3, and I'm like, I'm not going to read this thing. I'm just going to stop until they all come out and read it together because I still don't know. I've read 1 and 2, and I don't understand what's going on. So I can't keep acting like I understand because I don't. Like, it feels like you're trying to confuse me. So, Gods by Jonathan Hickman has been a massive low light for me for 2020.
Oh wow, that's wow. That's
like huge low lights. It feels
why I don't mention that an Ultimate Invasion is that
I'm not going to Ultimate, yes.
Yeah, Jonathan Hickman has earned a lot of rope in terms of faith that we place in him because we know him to be a detailed storyteller. So it's like, I know right now the book feels like trash, but because he's Jonathan Hickman, I'm going to give him a long rope to hang himself on it. Yeah. That it deserves that level of what's this called? Respect. That, okay. I know it starts really poor, but yeah.
There's one book, sorry, that I want to mention. I don't know. I wrote it down and I totally skipped it when I was writing my highlights. It's a DC book. It's called Batman, Gargoyle of Gotham. I love this
Gargoyle
book.
of Gotham.
Yeah, I feel like I do. I really love it a lot. I was surprised because I remember opening it and I thought, oh god, I didn't like how it looked inside, and I stopped. And then I probably went back to like a month later. And by that time there was 2. And then I read it, and then I really got into it. I really, really loved those books and moments. I can't wait for the remaining.
He's basically an action teenager in those books. Oh, I'm going to be Batman alone. I'm not going to be Bruce Wayne again. I'm going to kill my Bruce Wayne persona. And at first, I was really pissed about it. I'm still pissed, but when you find out, it's like this is Batman after year 1. So he's still very young and fresh into the idea of the mask.
I think I see it as an extreme version of Batman who's got more extreme mental issues. and he's a bit of a dick, really, especially to Alfred.
He absolutely is. It's an Elseworlds type stuff. So I'm just.
I've been enjoying it. I really have been enjoying it.
Yeah. I mean, it's to me when you say he's got severe mental issues, it's not different from the current Batman run, right? I mean, Zoranara, like he's crazy. I'm like looking at this guy. I'm like, you're crazy. Like, why hasn't anybody stopped you yet? It's ridiculous.
Just checking how far back I am on some books. Like, wow, like take Batman. I'm still in 2022.
You're not missing much. You're not missing much.
Okay.
You're not missing anything.
I can't lie. Yeah. I mean, the whole path they took was kind of putting me off. So I was like, you know what, let's find something else to do.
Even the way he ended it, you'd hate it even more when he came up. There was this idea, and he just said no, even though that idea was proven to be a good idea, and he went up against his whole family.
Oh wow!
Like the whole Bat family.
I do not think you should. I would not suggest that comic books to anyone. I wouldn't. They are more annoying than anything now. I only read it because.
Wait, you want Jay to miss the fact that Batman fell from the moon to the earth?
I heard of that. Okay. So I heard of this. Yeah. I was like, it's a lie, and I went and found just that panel.
Yeah. He did.
Yeah.
And what's part? The person
I would want to find Neil deGrasse Tyson and show it to him, and then have him
explain it, break it down.
and laugh at DC. Yeah. Except it would probably lead to increased sales. So I'm like, you know what? And
unfortunately, it was someone that we had a lot of respect for. But,
yes, that's the same thing.
He's fucked himself.
Zatsky is just running mad on DC. Basically, that's my take. Like the guy is just running mad. He's just writing anything he feels like. And I've been suspecting this guy since they entered this and
he wants to see how much he can get away with.
Yeah. They probably told you, listen, okay, this is not Marvel. These guys are icons. They can do things that you can't even dream of in Marvel. So feel free.
I think Text point is more correct. That is playing a prank on DC and seeing how far I can
play a prank.
I think that is more like it.
He's chopped his arm off. He's chopped his hand off, right? So he's like, okay, let me see Yeah,
I forgot. Yeah, he did actually.
Nobody has said anything yet. Sorry?
Saga, they're back. They started publishing again.
Oh yeah. Image.
Man, I'm so far behind.
Do we care?
I did not know they were back.
Yeah, but do we care that they're back?
I do.
No.
I mean,
Okay.
Jay does, but I'm saying
Okay.
It was interesting.
Some people like it. I mean,
going somewhere.
I dropped off that very early.
Kingsley will argue with you guys.
I got over it. Yeah.
Kingsley is the one who got us all into it as well. And then we left him on it. We showed him on it. We left him there.
I like the way Red says he got over it, like the way it changed, I guess, over it. You know how kids get over something. I want to learn to play the guitar, and then you buy the guitar for the
No, we were into it. Then the TV head started showing and everything.
Yes.
Like, no,
I think I got to about 30, and I said, no, I'm done with this.
Yeah, we went pretty far.
I was all the way up to issue 54.
Yeah, no, we didn't get that far.
Yeah, we didn't get that far. I remember it was around the 13 mark. So you know what? Yep. I got Kingsley, and Kingsley started abusing us. You know what, Kingsley like that?
I think I got to where the baby was born, and there was I can't remember.
It had a boost concept I liked, but overall, I just got bored of it. I thought, I'm done.
I think I was going through my. Let me look for some fresh stuff. After because I had been hearing about Invincible for years, and I never, cared about it. And then finally one day I took time and I read it. I'm like, oh my God, there's other stuff out there besides the big two. And I really decided to get into some of that stuff. And Saga was one of those I got into. Plus,
okay, let's suggest. I'm going to suggest one thing for you that we all liked this year. It was The Nice House on the Lake. I don't know if you've read that.
No, I have not.
It's about 27 issues. Image, The Nice House on the Lake. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
Very
good.
Like
I
as well.
see it.
And it's ended. So it's not
better.
You got the whole story. You can read it.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll make the time to look through it. Oh, they really got it into a nice 4 parts
volume. Yeah.
Volumes, yeah. I might look into that. Okay, thanks.
Cool. So anybody got any other highlights, lowlights from last year that they want to talk about that we haven't covered?
No, I mean a low point for me for the whole year is I did not go to one Comic Con this year at all. Intend to make up for it next year.
That's actually true. Because I've spent so much time. I spent more time around cosplayers in the last 2 years than I had in previous, I don't know how long. And the one person that I could point to and say, I knew this guy, you were not even nothing.
Yeah. More than a year absence from Comic Cons.
I mean, I'm guessing there were probably some physical limitations anyway. At some point.
That was it. That was the main issue. So
okay, cool.
I'm so this year.
So you're back, baby. He's back from his
one highlight. One highlight / lowlight I want to mention is Disney's horrible year. This has to be the worst year in Disney's history, in terms of box office, in terms of scandals, in terms of management sacking and firing, in terms of proxy battles for the top position right now. It's been a very interesting year. It's highlight because it's entertainment for me. I like seeing Disney so far. It's also highlight because it means that maybe they're going to take their time and correct things in the future. But I'm not that optimistic about that. But it's low light because of how much has been sunk into the effort and people have lost jobs over this. And the kinds of products that we've gotten this year have been really terrible, basically. So yeah, it's something to mention.
You happy now? Cat, you're on mute, so you're
very happy, Red. Very, very happy.
Red's not
good. Yeah. No, I was just saying, it's been a rubbish year for Marvel. It's not been great, but hopefully they'll take some time out, and I think
I think it's been a bad year overall for the
for the industry.
For the industry, superhero movies and everything, and there's been talk about.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's been a good year for DCU, James Gunn. This year couldn't have gone better for the guy.
Because he didn't release anything.
Exactly. We're
No,
talking about
because if these 4 movies had been successful hits, the guy will have a bigger problem on his hands going forward. So I'm sure in his mind he's at peace that these 4 movies failed in the box office, so he can sort of keep a clear slate.
I can see that.
So
Although he is giving mixed signals. I mean, he's making noise about how this girl can come and play Harley Quinn, and on the one hand, while dropping Cavill, and I'm like, dude, just if you're gonna do away with them, do away with them.
I mean, he will keep the ones that make money and do away with the ones that cost
To be
wahala.
fair, there is good business sense there.
Yeah.
Bringing
And besides,
she's the best. She's honestly the best thing, which is hard to believe. She's the best thing. Her performance, everything she was in, she was really good as Harley. So, yeah.
and I think he announced his writer's room or his architect room recently, and there are a lot of interesting names there. We see Crystal Henry from Watchmen, the showrunner of Watchmen.
Man is winning
She's
on Twitter. Okay, we get it.
Yeah. No, I'm sure that these are some interesting names. Like the woman that edited Watchmen, she's also going to be doing Waller that is coming out this year.
Yeah.
You have Drew Goddard that did what's this thing called? Martian. He also did one other superhero movie that I'm blanking on right now. You have Christina Hobson, which is weird. She did Flash. She was the head writer for Flash, which okay, that's interesting. You have people like
This day
Tom
is
King.
terrible. It's interesting.
No, it's interesting she was
Speak your
picked.
actual mind.
No, I'm like, what matrix went into picking her for that people? Then you have people like Tom King. I get why Tom King is included. They're adapting some of his books, like Superwoman. They're adapting his book for the
And
movies.
yeah, so as much as I slag off Tom King, that particular book is one of my is a very, very good book.
Which book?
So, Woman of Tomorrow, I think it's called. Is that correct today?
Superwoman, Woman of Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, very good book. So that if it's there for that reason, I'm okay with it. And yes, that's good. To be honest, I'm very positive about DC going forward. I think I'm a lot more positive about DC going forward on the gun than I am on MCU going forward at the moment.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a very powerful statement.
And that's another highlight or low light for the year. Jonathan Majors and Marvel going forward. Like, are they recasting Kang? Are they doing away with that storyline completely?
Can I
recasting him?
Can I put a spin on that? I've come around, and this is not to take joy from anybody's misfortune or anything like that, or the misdeeds. I can start to think this might be low key be a good thing for Marvel. This whole Majors thing. I think they did shift away from the Kang thing. I think they fumbled the ball on Kang so badly in Ant-Man Quantumania.
I agree with you because
that
his letter was typed up in May. There's no way they typed that thing the day the judgment was announced. They've been looking for a way to get rid of that guy. I'm just like, you know what? Let them just pass this judgment against him and just drop him. Because Quantumania was bad. The feedback was bad. It was universally panned.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not a big fan of his Victor Time. Is it Time?
Victor Timely.
Yeah, I didn't like that character. So I've started already. This big bad is only at the moment was at a meh level. So if what happened to him forces them to course correct, reduce the impact of Kang as being the big next villain, it might turn out overall to be a good thing. I don't know. My mother's got like a year at least.
So
to rewrite.
Here's my take. I did not like their introduction of Kang the first half of Ant-Man and the Wasp, when they first showed him, I was impressed. He was menacing. He was powerful. He was a force on screen. With his flick of his finger, he's terrorizing. He could kill you. He was barely flexing himself. And this was with his rebuilt, barely usable tools. He didn't have access to his full arsenal. So how they killed him was stupid, but I was ready to give that a pass, and yet with the idea that okay, this was a variant, and let's be honest, they can't all win. I mean, some have to lose. Some have to lose in certain ways. But I was expecting that next time we see him, we'd see more of the intimidating deal with almost anybody in his path version of him. So I was looking forward to seeing that new version. With all this happening now, I'm like, I personally don't think there's a need to get rid of the Kang character. That's what I'm trying to say. And if they recast him, I'll be okay with it. If they choose to go a different path, I'm okay with it also. I'm good either way. But I would have preferred to see Kang come and really make the MCU a terrifying place to be, with the level of power they could do, because they could really have, with the level of power and the stuff he has at his disposal, you could really mess with people anytime, anywhere, at all levels. He could have come at you in such a vicious way, where you go against the more powerful people than you in ways they can't stop you. That's where Kang was really dangerous. Thanos was a force head on. Kang was a force at all times, at all spaces, everywhere. You couldn't come at him directly, and it was going to be interesting. So I'm sad that we're probably not going to get that. Having said that, have you heard about the rumors of what's his name, Coleman Domingo, being possibly becoming the new Kang?
I've heard that. I wouldn't mind it at all. I wouldn't mind it at all. I wanted to move away from Kang.
Who's the guy?
Coleman Domingo. I've never seen, I don't know him that well, but just looking at him and hearing the buzz I've heard about him, I get the impression he's somebody worth.
Think he can do it?
Yeah, that's the vibe I get from people. Others I've heard talk about him. They'd be a great replacement. Plus, I think there was a point. There's a quote of his, I think, from some years back, where he said that he was at a point in his career where he's ready to take on a role in some sort of superhero thing. Like he said, whatever, he's now at the point where he's ready to play a Marvel or DC villain. That's what he said some years back.
I literally do not know this guy at all.
He's in Fear of the Walking. He's in Fear of the Walking.
Can we say that's a good thing? Honestly, I think that's a good thing as well.
It's a good thing. But all I'm saying is I can't judge his acting ability at all. So I just
agreed. I will say this much. I still don't think Marvel missed much when it comes to casting. The only time I've looked at the casting and thought Marvel missed it prior was Captain Marvel. I still feel like the best person for the role would have been I forget her name right now. Battlestar Galactica. What's her name?
Oh, Starbuck.
It's Sackhoff.
Yes, I still feel Sackhoff was my dream pick for Captain Marvel, as a military woman who, no nonsense, but also she can be one of the boys. She can be happy-go-lucky. She can pick guys up. I want that kind of persona. I felt she was that person. When they cast, I wasn't happy, and I didn't think it was the best. And it's turned out to be not a great going forward. She hasn't won the fans over the way someone like Sackhoff would have done.
That's fair. But to your point about them with casting Kang, I'm going to be with Dapo on this. I don't want them to. Because Marvel has shown they are not good at handling time-related stories. If I can trust them with time-related shenanigans and storytelling, that they'll be able to tell it competently well and make it work, I'll say, okay, yes, go for it. But they've not. There are always plot holes and loopholes and all of these things coming up there. So they should just shift back to their standard linear storytelling, forget the multiverse, and just tell some good stories.
That's the biggest issue. To me, that's the biggest issue I have with Kang. Even in comics, it still always end up being a mess. And you literally just have to
headcanon some things, yeah.
You can't headcanon it. You just listen. Don't change it. Just put your hand and just accept it. Because it's hard to do, especially Kang in comics is a mess, and it's always as Jay said earlier, it's always crisscrossing his own timeline 100 times. So it's just now if the comics again is all wrong, and already I did like how they handle time in the Loki series anyway, which was basically almost was breaking the same rules established by carefully establishing the last two Avengers movies. Already they've broken it. Now when they do the movies, which one are they going to go with? Are they going to go back to the Loki version of how time works, or the MCU one? So anyway, they've got time to think about it. They've got options now because do we recast? Do we pivot away from him? We've been hearing a lot of Dr. Doom rumors recently. Whether that has any water, is that where they're going to try and pivot to? I don't know.
Well, remains to be seen.
Yeah, but 2024 we think is going to be. It's almost like it take a breath time for comic book movies. Deep breath. We're getting one. Is that correct? Am I wrong, guys?
We're getting Deadpool. I don't know if we're getting anything else.
We're not getting anything else
We're
this year.
No, you're right. We're not. We're getting Craven.
We're talking serious. We're talking serious stuff here.
Joker. We're getting Joker.
Wow. So here's my problem with Craven. I'm sure you guys have probably dived into that already. They're doing the Black Adam thing with him. Like, you're trying to make him anti-hero, good guy type, which to me is like, can we just leave our villains as villains? Sony's trying to just create spin-offs, try to work the last dime out of this stuff. They got lucky with Venom, and after they got lucky with Venom, they're like, oh, let's do that again. Let's do that again. All those executives, they want their $4 million bonuses in December. They want to make $10 million. They want the money. They want to get those bonuses. They don't give a crap. They don't give a shit about how the story goes, you know. And for me, it's like, come on, man. Like, you're gonna take Craven away from what he traditionally is, which is a vicious, deluded dude, and turn him into, oh, he's not gonna be the good guy. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, they may do it better, but they'll almost certainly do it better than Black Adam. But
it's such a bad idea. It's such a bad idea. It's such.
Sorry. You said they would do better than Black Adam.
I've seen the trailer. I'm pretty sure.
I can guarantee you it will be nowhere near as good as Black Adam. I can almost put money on it.
Oh, really? How much?
I had no
issue
that what it's going to do as much as Black Adam.
No, it's going to be better than Black Adam.
No, I like Black Adam. By the way, I like Black Adam.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you how much you want to bet.
It won't be. I'm not bet money. It won't be. It's funny. They don't do good films. Even the best film is shit.
Jay, are you forgetting Sony made Mobius?
They made Mobius. They made Venom 1 and 2. And by no means I don't good films.
Mobius was laughably bad. Just saying.
I've seen Madam Web trailer already. Madam Web, they took her away from an old 80-year-old woman to a hottie. This is where Sony is at. I have no belief in that film at all. That this Craven at all.
Well, it just means your expectations are nicely low.
Oh, very. The question is, would I pay to watch it in cinema?
Let me tell you something. No matter how low you set it, Sony are going to say, "We'll match you."
Hold my beer.
I will exceed what you think.
Like, I see your gutter. Let me show you a well. I see your well. Let me show you mine.
So bad. It's such a bad
mine. Let me show you the Marianas Trench.
The truth is, I would actually like to see Aaron Taylor Johnson as Craven in a Spider-Man movie being bad in a Spider-Man movie. At the end, I don't mind if, the formula or whatever that was making him bad, he now rethinks his life, and then you do a Craven movie, which is an offshoot of that one.
Oh, by the way,
and even in that one, make him bad, like an anti-hero. I can stomach it.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
The Craven we're even seeing in the movie is not Craven, it's his children, right?
No, he is Craven now.
No, he is Craven off. I don't know if it's his children. That's actually
he's Craven.
His children. Sorry, the character we're running into is a Craven off.
Yeah, but it's not.
His father is also in the movie.
Yes,
but his father isn't Craven.
No, but what I'm saying is, in the movie,
yes,
we're seeing this guy who's the son of a Craven off, and has got a sister, which tallies to the children of Craven in the comics, a boy and a girl. So I think that's what we're getting. Not the original.
But then that would mean
there's no tie into the comics. Forget
that would mean Russell Peters.
Craven.
That was
only or what's his name? That's who we are getting.
That's the name he has in the comics now.
That's what?
That's the name the son's got in the comics now.
Listen, I need you to calm down.
Yeah.
The Craven that was in Craven's Last Hunt.
Yeah.
is going to be Aaron Taylor Johnson. I want to bet money with you now.
I disagree because the message is sister.
No problem.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Are you guys planning to talk about? Are you going to talk about expectations for the coming year, like in next episode, or what's the plan?
Yeah, I
I
think
say this knowing that as we're talking, tomorrow is the premiere of Echo. As we're recording this now.
Oh yeah. No, we can still look forward. Because Echo dropping all episodes.
I think so. Yeah,
all 5 episodes drop tomorrow.
Thank God.
I don't think it's dropping for us in the. I think it's only in the UK. I don't think in the US dropping on the 9th, and then for us, I think it's dropping on Wednesday.
Okay, but all 5, right, for us as well.
It's all It's just they're just thinking out there. So.
Anybody looking forward to Agatha?
Of course, now.
I think we can end the podcast now.
On that,
I think
exactly on that bombshell.
Yeah, on that bombshell. I think at some point we might do a look forward. Maybe not next episode, maybe episode after. But yeah, I think guys, we've got a long episode today. 1 hour 41 minutes already in.
Yeah.
You can cut out half of what I said.
I'll just cut out today.
Okay.
That says a lot of time.
All right, so we say our goodbyes.
Yep.
Okay, thanks for joining. Do you want to say your goodbyes? Plug anything?
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure to be on here. I'll be happy to come back after we figure out whether or not Craven is better than as good as I think it would be, or as bad as Dapo thinks it would be.
Brilliant. Today?
Yeah, goodbye, guys. Happy New Year once again. And see you next week.
Okay.
Yep.
Red.
Hey, Happy New Year. Whoever's listening, the guy in green, top left. I don't know him. Whatever he said, he speaks for himself. But yeah, and thanks for having Jay on again. As always, a pleasure as usual. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, guys. Remember to rate, like, subscribe. That all.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening, for joining us again this year. And hopefully you'll be here throughout the year with us. And we'll see you later.